Hey everyone. Hope everyone's doing good. I hope you all are doing happy, doing blessed, and doing safe. Welcome to your Geek Report for the week of February the 5th through February the 12th, 2024. We're going to start off in our TV and movie news segment. And this past week, some pretty historic news happened in terms of Lucasfilm and Disney. And that is that Gina Carano is suing Lucasfilm from wrongful termination, and Elon Musk is paying for this. Okay. We're going to talk about how this all got started. We're going to talk about her statement as well as Bob Iger's statement and overall what I think about this overall. Okay. Just my overall impressions of it. In other news from this segment, the Super Bowl happened this past week. And as you know, every year the Super Bowl has trailers. Okay. Now, there wasn't a whole lot of movie trailers this year. I remember seeing Wicked. I saw Inside Out 2. But the two I'm going to talk about is Deadpool 3, or what they're calling Deadpool and Wolverine, and the Twisters movie trailers. Those are going to be the two I'm going to talk about and just kind of give you my overall impressions of them. In gaming news, we got news about Cyberpunk 2077 sequel, what they're calling Project Orion. I'm going to talk about that and just kind of give you my overall impressions of the news and what I want to see out of a sequel for Cyberpunk 2077. Because given what all happened and where it ended up, I did enjoy Cyberpunk 2077. I thought Cyberpunk 2077 was a good game. Eventually became a great, in my impression, eventually became a better game. Okay. But it did start out bad, and, it did become something pretty decent. Okay. And that was before Phantom Liberty dropped. But we got news about, Project Orion, the Cyberpunk 2077 sequel, and I'm going to kind of give you my thoughts on it and what I want to see from a sequel. And finally, we're going to end the news segment this week with some bad news, and that is that singer Toby Keith has died. I was a really big fan of his. I still kind of am a little big fan of his, and it is kind of sad to see him die. I'm just going to kind of give you my thoughts on it. So sit back, relax, grab yourself something to eat, grab yourself something to drink, and let's look at the Geek Report for the week of February the 5th through February the 12th, 2024. Now let's look at our TV and movie news. And what can only be described as a nuclear bomb going off in the world of entertainment happened this past week. Okay. And that is that Gina Carano finally decided, or maybe she was persuaded, whatever you want to call it, to sue Disney and Lucasfilm finally. Okay. And it's being paid for by Elon Musk. Now, before we really get into everything about what she said, what's been said, all that, let's look at how this all got started. So let's think back to February 2021. Okay. The Mandalorian Season 2 has just finished its run. There's talk of Gina Carano and her character, Cara Dune, being given their own series called Rangers of the New Republic. There's talk of Ahsoka and all this stuff, okay? And then she goes and she tweets this. Now, this is what the tweet said, okay? It said, Jews were beaten in the streets not by them, but by their neighbors, even by children. Because history is edited, most people today don't realize that to get to the point where they could easily round up thousands of Jews, the government first made their own neighbors hate them simply for being Jews. How is that any different from hating someone for their political views? Now, a lot of people then, I guess, and I still don't think it was organic, okay? I think this was a setup, okay? Now, I know she did tweet this out, okay? I'm not talking about that being a setup. I'm talking about what happened afterwards. A lot of people started using the hashtag #FireGinaCarano because they were basically saying that she was comparing Republicans to the Jews during World War II, okay? I do not believe that. Nowhere in this statement does it talk about any political party. It says when your government says that you should hate these people, it is never a good thing. Never a good thing. which is the truth. Okay? When your government says, okay, you should hate these people, it is never a good thing. Okay? It ain't a good thing. Almost immediately afterwards, Gina Carano was fired from The Mandalorian, and she was basically, blacklisted by Hollywood, by all attempts. Okay? She was basically blacklisted by Hollywood. Okay? Now, immediately after that, she got on with the Daily Wire, who were at that time starting up their own entertainment company, and she did a movie for them, and the name of that movie was Terror on the Prairie, and from what I understand, she did a great job on it. Okay, I've not seen Terror on the Prairie, so I can't say yay or nay on that. All right, I really can't. But by all intents and purposes, she was basically blacklisted by Hollywood, okay, because of not only her being fired, but what she said before that. Because, they tried to bully her into doing certain things. They tried to bully her into unfollowing accounts and all that stuff. Now, fast forward to a couple months ago. Elon Musk makes this tweet right here. And it says, if you are unfairly treated by your employer due to posting or liking something on this platform, we will fund your legal bill. No limit. Please let us know. Okay. This comes from Elon Musk. This is not a joke account or anything like that. This is him right there saying, if you were ever fired, mistreated, whatever, for something you posted on my platform, then I will fund your legal bill. Okay. That happened a couple of months ago. That was a tweet he put out a couple of months ago. Now let's look at what happened this past Tuesday. This past Tuesday, Gina put out a statement that basically announced to the world that she was suing Disney and Lucasfilm for wrongful termination. Okay? That's the main crust of her argument. This here is, and I'm going to show you the tweet right here. So the statement starts out like this, and let me bring it up to full screen here. The statement starts like this. After 20 years of building a career from scratch, and she ain't just talking about her TV career, but her MMA career as well. Bob Chapek, Lucasfilm, made this statement on Twitter: terminate me from The Mandalorian. Gina Carano is not currently employed by Lucasfilm, and there are no plans to have her to be in the future. Nevertheless, her social media posts denigrating people based on their cultural and religious identities are abhorrent and unacceptable. All right, let's get something straight right now. That is a full-on lie. Never once did she denigrate anybody. I have never seen a tweet from her where she denigrated anybody. And that tweet that I showed you earlier that got her fired, it never denigrated anyone. Never. It didn't denigrate anyone. So this here is a bold-faced lie. That part about, and she ain't the one saying it. This was the tweet that they put out where they fired her, okay? That is a bold-faced lie where they said that she was denigrating people. She never once denigrated a single person, at least from my perspective, okay? At least from my perspective. Number two, the fact that she was fired over Twitter, okay? By all accounts, they didn't call her in or anything. They just said over Twitter that you're fired, goodbye. All right? That right there tells me that, first off, they didn't value her as an employee. Secondly, they didn't value her time doing all she did for the character, for Star Wars, for the fandom, all that. Okay? And third, it really ticks me off because I come from a working class town, okay? You don't fire people over Twitter, okay? You don't fire people over the phone. You call them into the office. You say, hey, this ain't working out. Good luck to you. The security guard will escort you to your locker, clear out your stuff. You're done, okay? That's how you fire someone. They couldn't even have the guts to fire her in a proper way. Because I know of no HR policy where you are fired over Twitter. Okay? I know of no HR policy. If there's an HR policy out there where you fire someone first on Twitter and then in real life, let me know, please. I would like to see that HR policy. Okay? Because I know of no policy on the planet where you fire someone over Twitter first and then you tell them. Okay? I know of no policy that exists where it's like that. Okay? But Lucasfilm already said their first line, and she repeated it here, okay? Where they accused her of denigrating people. She didn't denigrate anybody. Tell me who she denigrated. She was stating a basic fact that when a government says to hate people, it usually doesn't turn out well. And that is the truth. Look through history, okay? Okay, let me just calm down here, and let's keep on going. Now, she continues and says, nothing could be further from the truth. The truth is I was being hunted down from everything I posted to every post I liked because I was not in line with the acceptable narrative of the time. My words were consistently twisted to demonize and dehumanize me as an alt-right wing extremist. It was a bullying smear campaign aimed at silencing, destroying, and making an example out of me. I believe that's true. Okay? I full on believe that. And I'll tell you why I believe that. Okay? Immediately after she did that tweet, the whole hashtag Fire Gina Carano started. I do not believe that tweet was organic, where it just came out of nowhere. Okay? I think that Lucasfilm was behind that. Or someone at Lucasfilm was behind it. Okay? I personally think they wanted to get rid of her. That they wanted now they flat out said that for this character they want a strong, independent woman, and that's exactly what they got. The problem is strong, independent women usually don't think like they do, and that was their problem. They wanted someone who was strong and independent who basically thought like they did, and she wasn't it. Okay, full on, she wasn't it. All right. And that was their problem with her, and they had to fire her. And I believe that somewhere in Lucasfilm, there's probably going to be something coming out where the whole hashtag Fire Gina Carano thing was manipulated by people at both Lucasfilm and probably old Twitter. The old Twitter before it became X. That's when all this happened. Okay, back when she was fired, it was still Twitter then. I think that it was manipulated. Okay. I get the feeling that it wasn't organic, that it was manipulated. That's my personal overall feeling of it. All right. That everything was manipulated. Okay. That the whole hashtag was manipulated. So that way they could take this to the board and say, oh, we got to fire this person. She's causing all this uproar. Okay. I full on believe that. I full on believe that. That is my own personal opinion. But let's keep on going. And it says, the thing is I never use aggressive language. I share thought-provoking quotes, pictures, memes, and occasionally I use my own words, not with aggression, but with respect and occasional comedy to keep the mood light in dark times. You got to remember, this was during the whole outbreak thing, the lockdowns, all that, okay? She was making people think. She was joking around, all that. Now, this tweet that got her fired was not a joke, okay? She was saying, don't hate people because of what your government says, because it never ends well, okay? She was making people think, okay? But she has in the past done jokes and memes and all this other stuff, just like any other normal person on Twitter, okay? It keeps on going. Look with your own eyes at what I posted and ask yourself, for example, where did I compare Republicans to the Jewish people? I didn't. Ask yourself, why were they calling me a racist? Was there any merit behind that or history of it whatsoever? No. Look at why I was called a transphobe. For making droid noises from Star Wars was obviously directed to the online boys and did not in any way denigrate transgender people. All right, so what she's talking about here. Right at the beginning, when she was first cast, after she first premiered, she was gaining a lot of traction. And this happened in 2020, okay? What basically happened was they were forcing her to put pronouns in her bio, and she wasn't doing it, and people were bullying her because of it. So finally, she went and she put beep, bop, boop in her bio. Okay, and people were calling her this name and that name, and they were, and Lucasfilm was going to force her to go into a session where the community, the LGBTQ community could, talk down to her and make her see the wrong that she had done and all this other stuff. Never once has she denigrated anybody. Okay, if that was the truth, why was it that a lot of her co-stars came out and said that she was a great person to work with and stuff? Now, true, they may have just been saying that because of Lucasfilm, but I doubt every single one of them would have said that. Okay, she's all, by all accounts, she has been known as a great person to work with, as someone to really work her tail end off and be able to understand other people. And she don't care where you come from as long as you do your job. Okay? And that's the way it should be. That's the way it should be for normal people. Okay? Now, it keeps on going on. Were my questions about masks, lockdowns, and the vax okay to ask and push the subject into the light? Should we have been allowed to publicly discuss these topics at that time without being harassed or censored? Absolutely. Completely agree. Absolutely. Continues on. Hollywood says they support female representation and equal rights. Why then were my male co-stars permitted to speak without harassment and re-education courses or termination? But I was not afforded the same right or to exercise my freedom of speech. Okay, what she's talking about here is a statement that Pedro Pascal, her co-star in The Mandalorian, said, where he basically compared Trump supporters to the bad guys of World War II. Okay? He basically compared all Trump supporters to these people. Now, why was it when she said something, all right, she was fired? He said something, nothing happened. I'll tell you why. Because he was in line with the message, and she wasn't. Okay? He was in line with the established narrative that Hollywood wants to push, and she wasn't. But it keeps on going. Artists do not sign away our rights as American citizens when we enter into employment. I have spoken to all my co-stars since I was fired, and there is nothing but care and kind words between us. I respect their right to free speech and do not have to think the same on every issue to be their friends and work with them. I know that they feel the same towards me. And that's called being normal, okay? Guess what? You're going to find people who you work with who don't think the same as you do, and you're still going to have to work with these people, okay? That's called being normal, okay? And I don't know why that is such an incredible concept, but she's absolutely right. No, she can work with these people without having her, without having her rights trampled on. And she's going to respect their rights as well. And she knows that everyone's going to agree on everything 100% of the time. That's called being normal. You're going to face people like that, and you're going to have to work with people who think differently than you, who believe differently than you. And you're going to have to work with these people. Okay? It's called living a normal life. It's called living in reality. At least that's where I'm from, where you have to work with different people. Okay? Where you have to work with, where Republicans have to work with Democrats to build this or fix that or whatnot. And you're not going to agree on every single thing, but you can still work with each other and treat each other with respect. Okay? It's when there ain't no respect that there's problems. That's when there's problems, when there ain't no respect. And she was not shown respect. Not by Lucasfilm. I'm talking about Lucasfilm, not by her co-stars. And it says here, a couple months ago, Elon Musk tweeted that if you've been fired for using the platform for exercising your rights, he would like to offer these people legal representation. Quite a noble offer, but never in my wildest dreams would I have thought anyone would take on my case against Lucasfilm Disney. Still, I did respond back. I think I qualify, and thousands of people agree, but I did not expect anything. Now we're getting to Elon Musk. Now, let's get something straight here. Elon Musk has a bone to pick with Disney, okay? If you remember a couple of months, I think it was about a month back, He went and he told Bob Iger and anyone else who was going to use money against him to go F themselves. That's basically what he said on stage at that presentation. He said, if you're going to use money to blackmail me, go F yourself. Those were his exact words. Okay? And he basically said, and the reason he did it was because Bob Iger was leading the spearhead to pull advertising away from X. Okay? And that would tick anyone off. Because that's the way you're making money right there. That would tick anyone off. But people came in, other companies came back in and started advertising on X. Now, maybe it wasn't as much as it was before, but no, it was still people coming back in and saying, hey, he's making this platform a lot more free. And so when Elon Musk has got a bone to pick with Bob Iger. Okay? He's got a big time bone to pick with Bob Iger. Now, does that right there tell you why he would do this? No. I believe he's doing this because he is backing up what he said. That he believes in free speech and that while X ain't perfect by any stretch of the imagination, he wants to be a more free and open platform, and he's backing up what he said. And what bigger case is there than what happened with Gina Carano? Okay? What bigger case is there? Because it's a twofer. Okay? Not only does he lay one down on Bob Iger, but he sits there and he proves that he was legit about what he said. That if you were fired or put down or terminated or whatever for something you did on X, for something you tweeted, for something you liked, whatnot, that he is backing up what he said. Okay? It continues on. To my surprise, a few months ago, I received an email from a lawyer who had been hired by X to look into my story and many others. Turns out, after sending them as much information as I could gather these past few months, my now lawyers and X believe wholeheartedly in my case and are moving forward. Now, this is where I'm going to kind of get into conspiracy theory time, okay? I think she might have given them something huge. I really do. Okay? Now, it says here that she gave them everything, basically, about what happened to her. Every single thing she gave them. I believe that she probably gave them something huge. And that after a little bit of investigating over, maybe looking into it, probably some subpoenas, that sort of thing, they probably got hold of something. And they got some major evidence. Okay? And if you know anything about these type of cases, there's this thing called discovery, where both sides have to give the evidence they have, okay? And that evidence can be made public, okay? It is evidence that can be made public, especially in tort law, which is what lawsuits are. It's called tort law. I'm not an expert. Please don't think me as an expert. I'm not an expert. But when you get discovery, this information can be made available to the public, okay? Now, Lucasfilm can sit there and petition the judge and say, hey, some of the stuff has got to remain private, and it'll be up to the judge whether or not to allow it to be made public. And he can vote either way, yay or nay. But usually in discovery, a lot of the information can be made public that will not affect the outcome of the case. Okay? Let me say it that way. And it's when you're dealing with tort law, okay, lawsuits, that sort of thing, a lot of that information can be made public. Okay, so I cannot wait for discovery because I got the feeling that she gave them something that basically is going to change a lot. I think it's a nuclear bomb. Okay, I personally think it's a nuclear bomb ready to go off. Okay, and more than likely, the timing she did it on was perfect. It was right before the shareholders meeting. Okay, it was right before that. So she chose the perfect opportunity to do that. Okay, because not only does it put pressure on Disney for discovery, it put pressure on Bob through his shareholders. Okay, so she chose the perfect time to do it. Okay, It continues on and says, I would like to express my deepest gratitude. Thank you to Elon Musk and X for giving me the opportunity to bring my case to light. As for me, I would love to pick up where I left off and continue my journey of creating and participating in storytelling, which is my utmost passion and everything I work so hard for. It has been difficult to move forward with the lies and labels stuck on me, backed and encouraged by the most powerful entertainment company in the world. I am grateful someone has come to my defense in such a powerful way and look forward to clearing my name. Thank you to all the people who have supported me and made your voices heard. I pray God blesses each and every one of you. With love, Gina Carano. Okay, that's the end of her statement right there. And what she's basically talking about is because of what happened, she was basically blacklisted by Hollywood. Okay, if it wasn't for Ben Shapiro and the Daily Wire and the film Terror on the Prairie, she probably would not have been able to act anymore. Okay, but because of what he did, she was able to stay in fans' hearts and show them that she really could act. And by this statement here, she wants to continue acting. Okay, she wants to keep on doing the acting thing. Okay, full on wants to keep on creating and all that stuff, and she wants to prove to people that she ain't this person that Disney is putting out. That she's something else completely, something else entirely. So now what do I think of all this? So first off, I think that it's a long shot her getting her job back. I think it really is a long shot. Okay? And I don't think she would want her job back. I think that she would want the money that would have been promised to her through contracts or whatnot. But what I do think what is going to happen is she's going to bring down Disney. Okay. And what I mean by that is I don't think she's going to cause Disney to collapse in on itself. I personally think that she's going through Discovery show everyone what's been going on at Disney through cancel culture, through the canceling of her. I personally think that we're going to get evidence that the whole Fire Gina Carano thing was orchestrated from Lucasfilm, probably from Kathleen Kennedy. And I think that's her main objective. Okay, I think she would love to have her job back. She would love to play Cara Dune once again. But I think that her main objective is to show what's been going on at Lucasfilm. I think when Elon Musk's lawyers contacted her, she saw an opportunity, not just maybe to get her job back, which I think she wants her job back. Okay, she would want to play this character again. But I don't think that's her primary objective. I think her primary objective is to show what's been going on at Disney and to prove to everyone that she's not this horrible person that's been put out there. Okay? That Disney was basically making up bold-faced lies about what's been going on with her. Okay? I think this is all about clearing her name. I think to get her job back is a secondary concern. To clear her name, to prove that she's not this horrible person, and maybe just to show how corrupt and scummy Disney is, are her main objectives. Okay? I think that's her main objectives. I think that that's Elon's main objective. I think he's going to show Bob Iger how bad of an idea it was to make him an enemy. Okay? I think that this is Elon Musk's way of getting a little bit of revenge against Bob Iger for what he did. And Elon Musk has that right. Bob Iger tried to silence Elon Musk, tried to keep Twitter this, I don't know what you call it, before he got hold of it. But basically tried to force Elon Musk to run a company a certain way. And Elon Musk wasn't going to do it. And Bob Iger sits there and trying to start basically a advertiser boycott of Twitter. Okay? So Elon Musk is due some little revenge. And so is Gina Carano. Okay? Disney tried to destroy both of these people. And they're due for a little revenge. And I think that there is a ticking nuclear bomb in whatever she gave the lawyers. Okay? I think that it's just ticking away. And when Discovery happens, I think that a lot of stuff is going to come out. I think so much stuff is going to come out. I think that Bob Iger probably is trying to figure out a way to find a way to make sure this lawsuit stops. Okay? And the question is, what is he going to offer Gina? Okay, that's the question. Now, he has come out with a statement since then. Okay, when asked about this, he said none. Okay, the question was, what are your thoughts of the Gina Carano lawsuit? He said none. One word, none. Okay? Now, I don't know what to think of that. Okay? Either he's not worried about it, or he's worried about it, but he's not trying to let it show. I think he's worried about it. Okay? I think that this is going to accomplish a couple of things. First off, I think it's going to show how scummy Disney is. Not just with Gina, but with other people too. I think that this is going to probably be the end of Kathleen Kennedy. Okay? I think that one way or the other, Bob Iger and Kathleen Kennedy are done if this lawsuit goes forward. Do I think Gina will get her job back? No. I don't think that's her primary concern. I think her primary concern is showing how bad Disney is. Okay, how scummy they are. So I don't think she will get her job back. I wish she would. I wish they would rehire her. Okay, but I don't think she would do it. I don't think she would get her job back. But I think this is all about proving to the world that she is not this horrible person that they're painting her out to be. Okay? And I think that's her main objective. Okay? I think she would love to be recast as Cara Dune. I think she would love to have Rangers of a New Republic being made. But I don't think that she would trust Disney as far as she could throw a car. Okay? Which ain't very far. All right? So, yeah, I don't think that her primary concern is getting her job back. I think she would love to have it back. I think a lot of people would love to see her back. I think her primary concern is really showing what the lies Disney has put out, showing how scummy they are. And I personally think that she probably gave Elon Musk's lawyers something that shows that the whole Fire Gina Carano thing was started by Lucasfilm. That's my personal opinion. Okay, that either Lucasfilm themselves or someone at Lucasfilm started it, and it wasn't organic. Okay, it didn't come from the fans. It came from Lucasfilm. There was some kind of plot inside Lucasfilm to get rid of her a long time before this tweet came out, and this tweet just gave them the perfect opportunity to do it. Okay, full on believe that. So yeah, I think she gave them a nuclear bomb, and I think when Discovery happens, it's going to go off, and a lot of people are going to lose their jobs. I would not be surprised if Kathleen Kennedy and Bob Iger got the boot. Okay. And also what this does, this gives more ammo for Nathan Peltz, who's currently trying to take control of Disney through a proxy fight. This gives more ammo to Nathan Peltz to use against other shareholders, saying, hey, look what he did. Look what Kathleen Kennedy did. Something needs to change, or else there ain't going to be a Disney. And that gives him more ammo to have some of these other shareholders give him their shares. Okay? So, yeah, full on believe that as well, that this gives more ammo to Nathan Peltz. Now, I have heard stuff, okay, that Elon has thought about buying Disney. That he's thought about buying Disney, hooking up with Nathan Peltz, and basically the two of them taking control of Disney, okay? I don't know if I believe that, okay? After buying Twitter, Elon's probably got his hands full of Twitter, SpaceX, and Tesla, okay? I just don't see him buying Disney, okay? At least at this time. But I do have to wonder if maybe this lawsuit isn't an attempt to lower the stock price of Disney, so maybe it becomes more of a value for him to buy, okay? Because the other night, he was seen with Nathan Peltz at a premiere, and he made some statements that kind of raised some eyebrows. So I have to wonder if maybe buying Disney right now is not in the cards, but maybe this whole lawsuit, maybe he's hoping through this lawsuit to bring the stock price down to where he can buy it. Okay? To perhaps bring the stock price down to a point where he says, okay, I'll talk to Gina. We will end the whole lawsuit, and I'll pay $2 billion for Disney. Okay? And he goes in with Nathan Peltz, and he basically buys Disney. I have to wonder if that ain't a possibility, that he's going out and he's doing this to kick Bob Iger in the gut, basically, for doing what he did, to help Gina basically clear her name, but also maybe to bring Disney down to a point where it's more manageable for him to buy. Okay? And him and Nathan Peltz go in together, buy Disney, and basically change everything. Okay? I full on have to consider that possibility. Now, do I think at this time Elon Musk is going to buy Disney? No. I don't think he is. But I have to wonder if maybe this lawsuit is part of that plan to somehow find a way to get Disney. Okay? But yeah, this past week, Gina Carano, she went and she made the announcement that she is suing Disney and Lucasfilm for what they did to her back in 2021. I think this has been a long time coming. I think she should have done this a long time ago. She has earned her right and earned her day in court over this. Okay, after all they've done to her. And I think that when it finally drops, discovery finally happens, that we're going to get a lot of information and we're going to find out a lot of stuff has been going on at Disney that is truly scummy, and it's going to show the type of company that Bob Iger and Kathleen Kennedy have both been running.
Okay, so this past week, the Super Bowl happened, and the Kansas City Chiefs won, and congratulations to them. You've earned your win. Enjoy it. Full on, okay? But one of the best things about the Super Bowl has always been the commercials. Now, there wasn't a whole lot of movie commercials I really cared about this year for the Super Bowl. I remember seeing a commercial for Wicked. I saw one for Inside Out 2. But there were two that I really cared about. And one of them was the sequel to the 1990s movie Twister, which is titled Twisters, which is coming out. And the other one is the one we're going to be looking at first, and that is Deadpool and Wolverine. Now, this was titled Deadpool 3, but it's now called Deadpool and Wolverine. Now, we're going to take a look at this trailer, and I'm going to give you some of my thoughts about it. But please keep something in mind that I'm not a Deadpool fan. I have nothing against the character. I'm just not a hardcore Deadpool fan. And I did not see the first two Deadpool movies. So there's going to be things I'm probably going to miss in this trailer. But let's take a look at it, and I'll give you some of my thoughts and opinions.
Happy birthday to you.
All right, okay. It's been a challenging few years, for sure. But I'm happy. That is because of each and every one of you. I'm the luckiest man alive.
Make a wish, buddy.
Wade Wilson?
Who's that?
Okay, this is a TVA. Now, they are usually associated with Loki because they were introduced in the Loki TV series, okay? But they're now in Deadpool, and I'm kind of wondering what part they're going to play in all this, all right? So let's keep on watching, and I'll give you some of my thoughts on it.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Is that supposed to be scary? Pegging isn't new for me, friendo, but it is for Disney.
Okay, I'm sorry, that's funny. That's hilarious right there. Okay, making fun of Disney in a Disney film, and that's hilarious, okay? And plus, it plays to the fans because the fans are really not happy with the way Disney has handled Marvel, okay? They're not happy with it. And to be truthfully honest, I'm not happy with it. You know, I just recently got back Hulu and Disney Plus, and I saw Miss Marvel, which was okay. Miss Marvel was okay for me. But the Marvels, I mean, no wonder people hated that. I thought Miss Marvel was okay, but the Marvels absolutely was horrendous. Okay. But yeah, just making fun of a Disney film in a Disney film, that's hilarious to me. I absolutely love that.
Mr. Wilson, you appear to have soiled yourself while unconscious.
I wasn't unconscious. Who are you? Why am I here?
Walk with me. Wait. You are special. This is your chance to be a hero among heroes.
Okay, we're now seeing images of the Avengers. And I'm beginning to think that maybe the overall plot of this is he's going to be going across different realities. And one of them is to be with the Avengers. Okay, our Avengers. And I'm wondering if this is how they're going to bring him into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. If this is their attempt to do that. But it does add an interesting twist to everything, you know. And maybe it makes more sense for the TVA being in Loki. Now, I'm not seeing Loki season 2 yet, but maybe it makes more sense now for the TVA and all that to be in Loki, and gives them a way to bring all these Fox characters like the X-Men, like Wolverine, like Deadpool, over into the larger Marvel Cinematic Universe, you know?
Smell what you're stepping in, Sensei. Your little cinematic universe is about to change forever. I'm the Messiah. I am.
Okay, we just saw an image just a minute ago. If I can find it here. Right there. Whoops, let me go back. There we go. All right, so that right there looks like Wolverine from the back. Okay, and when I first saw this trailer, I thought, wait a second, is that Professor Charles Xavier on the left right there? But it don't look like him, okay? After really looking at it, it don't look like Professor Xavier. But still, it was kind of curious, you know, they're showing, you know, Wolverine like this. Because normally, Wolverine, he's in CD bars, you know. He's not in what looks like a fine establishment, okay? He's more of the CD bar type of guy, okay? He goes into the CD bars. He rides a motorcycle, you know. He's like the blue-collar hero. And this kind of makes him into like an upper-class hero sort of deal. So I'm kind of wondering about that, you know. Like, what's going on here? What's he doing here? You know, that sort of thing. Because this does not look like the place that you would find Wolverine.
I'm the Messiah. I am Marvel Jesus.
Okay, I'm sorry. That's funny. There's another joke. But, like, yeah, he was doing a play on I Am Iron Man, which happened in the first Iron Man movie. And I love these jokes against Disney. You know what I'm saying? But you got to kind of ask yourself, how many can they do before Disney gets ticked off? Because this is now a Disney property, okay? They went, they bought Fox, and they now own all the Fox properties. They own X-Men, Fantastic Four, they own Deadpool. They own these properties, okay? So how far can they go? Or how far are they going to be allowed to go? I mean, are we going to see these jokes like every now and then? Or are we going to see them a lot? And I really do hope we do see them a lot. And that's one of my worries, is that they're really going to dumb down Deadpool. They're going to try and make him kid-friendly. You know, he ain't kid-friendly. He breaks fourth walls all the time. He tells bad jokes. He tells naughty jokes, okay? And he's never been a kid-friendly superhero. And that's what's got me concerned, is that they're really going to try and dumb him down a little bit to make it to where he is this, I don't know, kid-friendly whatever, you know. I really don't want them doing that. I want them keeping him as he's always been, you know, this raunchy superhero who you really don't know if he's friend or foe sometimes.
Jesus.
Now, we just saw something there that was really interesting. Right here, when this guy gets taken up, this looks like, if you remember, if you ever seen Loki season 1, this looks like the end of time where Loki and Sylvie was taken to, where the beast was out destroying like all the abominations or whatnot. This looks like where he's at right now. Like he's been sent to the end of time. Okay. So I'm kind of wondering if that's where we're at here, you know?
My back! God, I love this part. Wait!
Don't just stand there, you ape. Give me a hand up. Nope, I'm actually okay. Thank you very much.
Okay, that was Deadpool and Wolverine. You know, one of the things that is kind of setting off alarm bells for me is the fact that we did not see Wolverine. I mean, we saw, you know, him from the back, and we saw that final cut right there where he steps up and saves Wade, you know, but we did not see a clear view of Wolverine, and that's kind of concerning to me, you know. Now, when in this scene right here, we did see him reach over and get Wade and get Deadpool, and we saw what looked like him being in a yellow suit. So maybe they're bringing back the yellow suit. But besides that, and besides the behind-the-scenes shot we saw earlier in the bar, we didn't really get to see a good view of Wolverine, and I'm kind of concerned about that. I'm kind of concerned about what part he's going to play in all this. You know, I understand that Deadpool is the main character of this movie. I get that, okay? I understand that this is Deadpool. This is essentially Deadpool 3, okay? But I would have liked to have seen what Hugh Jackman is going to look like as Wolverine, okay? I would have liked to have seen that, okay? At least some variant of him. Because I think that is something we are going to be dealing with. Because whenever you're dealing with the TVA, you're dealing with variants, okay? Different versions of yourself, okay? We saw that in Loki. We're going to probably see it here, okay? Because whenever you're dealing with the TVA, you're dealing with different variants. But let me say, this was an okay trailer. I would have liked to see what Wolverine is going to be like. I would have liked to learn a little bit more about the plot. But I think overall, just as a good tease for what's coming in July, yeah, it is a pretty decent trailer. Let's see here. Let's see if when is it coming out. Okay, July 26th is when it's coming out. So this is going to be a decent summer film. I have a couple of questions. Like, first off, what is Wolverine going to look like? Is he going to be in the yellow spandex? Is he going to be in the gray spandex? Is he going to be dressed as like a biker, like we've seen before? You know, what variant of Wolverine are we going to be dealing with? What about the jokes? Okay, are they going to be watered down jokes, or are we going to see a lot of what we saw in this trailer, just making fun of Disney, which I thought was hilarious? Okay, I mean that to me is absolutely hilarious, full on hilarious. I love that. Okay, I had no problem with that. But how far are they going to take it? You know, and are they going to try and dumb down Deadpool? I don't want them doing that. Okay, I don't want them dumbing down Deadpool. I want the raunchy Deadpool that I've seen from the comics. But yeah, that was Deadpool and Wolverine, and it comes out on July 26th. So Deadpool and Wolverine was one of the trailers I wanted to see at the Super Bowl. The other one is a trailer for another movie that's coming out in July called Twisters. Now, I'm not sure what to really make of this. I've heard it's a reboot. I've heard it's a sequel, you know, to the original movie Twister that came out in the 1990s that starred Bill Paxton. Okay, so I really don't know what to think of this. Okay, so we're going to kind of take a look at this, and I'm going to kind of give you some of my thoughts and opinions on it.
Dodge whatever's in there. It's big and it's moving fast. Drive. Go, go, go!
Guys, you gotta get out of here. Do you hear me?
Okay, so the first issue I'm having is this supposed to be Helen Hunt and Bill Paxton's daughter from the original movie? Okay, it doesn't really say. Okay, and I want there to be some connection to the original movie. Okay, I want there to be some real connection to the original movie. Okay, now if this is a reboot, okay, if this is not a sequel, if this is a reboot, the argument still stays the same. I want some connection to the original movie. Okay, I want there to be some connection to the original movie. You know.
It's Tyler Owens. Calls himself a tornado wrangler. If you feel it, chase it! I said if you feel it, chase it! All right, here we go.
Okay, I know this is supposed to be fantastical and all that, but there ain't no way that would happen. Now, we've all seen videos of like tornado intercept vehicles and that sort of thing. That is nowhere near that, okay? I mean, that literally is nowhere near what a tornado intercept vehicle would be. I mean, where's the armor plating? Where's the equipment, like the instruments? Where's the camera pod? I mean, that's just a guy out for a thrill. And I think that's what they're going for, is that he doesn't care about the science or about, trying to figure out how twisters are made or anything. He cares about the thrill of it all, And I think that's what they're going for.
Oh, she's perfect!
She's gorgeous!
You thought you could destroy a tornado.
Now, right there, we saw an image from the original Twister, okay? And it's in the movie Twisters, okay? But that was Dorothy. That was the instrument they were trying to get to go up into a tornado, okay? So there is that, connection to the original movie. My problem is, if that's it, that ain't right, okay? Bill Paxton, Helen Hunt, they did a great job on the original Twister movie, okay? And I'm really hoping this is their daughter, okay? And I'm really hoping there is a decent connection to the original movie Twister, okay? Than just this, okay? I really hope there is like a familial connection. Or, one of the members of the team is like their daughter or something like that, okay? I really want there to be more of a connection to the original movie than just the equipment. I want there to be like an actual character development connection to the original movie.
We never had a chance.
You want one? You don't face your fears. You ride them.
We got twins! Twins!
Okay, that was another throwback to the original movie. And I guess next we're going to see cows. We have cows, I mean, I'm seeing all these little tangible things that harken back to the original movie Twister. But I'm not seeing a real connection to the movie, okay? I saw the Dorothy device. We just saw the line here, twins, we got twins. I did not see anything other than these small little things, okay? Just these small little things. And I want there to be an actual connection to the original movie. I mean, if you're doing a sequel, a reboot of the original movie, give us an actual connection to the movie. Make the leading lady of this movie their daughter or something, okay? Give us an actual connection to the original movie. Don't just give us these tangible little things that we can barely hold on to. Give us an actual connection to the original movie. That's my biggest gripe with this trailer right now. Now, I'm trying to see something here because was that okay? For a second there, I thought they did something there, but yeah, this is a cool scene, you know.
Was that it? Nope.
Okay, that was the movie Twisters. I'm not sure if this is supposed to be a sequel to the original or a reboot, okay? But throughout the film, I kept on asking myself, where is the tangible connection to the original movie? Okay? Where is that tangible connection? Okay, we saw Dorothy, you know, the big old device with the little sensors on it. You know, we saw the whole line twins. We got twins. You know, we saw these little things. But where's the big connection? Where's that big thread that links back to the original movie? And I'm hoping that one of the main characters, whether it be the guy or the girl, is going to be like a relative of them. Okay? And I'm really hoping there is some tangible connections to the original movie. Okay? But yeah, that was Twisters. It's coming out in July. It may very well be going up against Deadpool and Wolverine. That would be a very bad mistake. I don't think they should do that. But yeah, that was the other movie trailer for the Super Bowl I was looking forward to, which was Twisters. My biggest gripe was there was no big tangible connection to the original movie. Okay? And if that ain't in the movie, if there ain't no big tangible connection to the original movie, then no, I probably won't go see it. But I'm going to wait for another trailer before I make any type of determination on that. So now let's start with our gaming news. And we really only have one thing to talk about this week in terms of gaming news. And that is that we got some news about the Cyberpunk 2077 sequel that has been titled Project Orion. Now, we've heard little bits here and there about how they were gearing up for Project Orion and that sort of thing. Well, it seems now that they finally have kicked things into overdrive. And this is a press release from Cyberpunk from CD Projekt Red. And it says here, CD Projekt Red has announced several high-profile additions to the team working on Project Orion, the anticipated follow-up to Cyberpunk 2077 being headed up by the U.S. and Canadian-based CD Projekt Red. Project Orion is in the early stages of development, with the studio veterans previously involved in Cyberpunk 2077 and its spy thriller Phantom Liberty expansion spearheading the project, including Gabriel Montenegro, I think that's how you say your name, Paula Sasko, Igor Soritsky, Andrei Stupa, Kasper Nipochikak, I think that's how you say your name, Sarah Grummer, and Kasper Korinsky. This group is now part of a larger team based in the newly created CD Projekt Red studio in Boston. So the new studio in Boston is going to be heading this up. Joining them at this location are industry professionals with years of experience in a variety of well-known and impressive AAA projects. The first one being Dan Hemberg is joining the team as executive producer. Dan had previously worked as head of production at Amazon Games, head of production and project management at Panic Button, and lead project manager at Blizzard Entertainment, and contributed to such titles as New World, Apex Legends, and Diablo 3, among others. You notice these games right here, two of them were multiplayer games or had multiplayer components. So I'm wondering if maybe the next Cyberpunk is going to have some type of multiplayer component to it. The next one is Ryan Bernard. Past credits include game director at Massive and Ubisoft, as well as game director at Hitman developer IO. He will be contributing his skill set as design director. Okay, so the design of the city, guns, outfits, that sort of thing. All right. It says here, Alan Villani is entering the Project Orion team as engineering director, having previously lent his technical expertise as VP of technology on various WB game projects, including technical direction of several Mortal Kombat titles. Okay, so her expertise is fighting. So I think that what we're going to see with her is the hand-to-hand combat aspect of the game. Not so much the weapons as maybe the hand-to-hand combat aspect. And another thing I just noticed is that up here in Ryan Bernard, it talked about how he worked at Massive and Ubisoft. So I have to wonder if perhaps, they're going to have some type of microtransactions in the next game. Okay? Because that's kind of making me wonder about that as well. Just seeing his, pedigree coming from both Massive and Ubisoft. Now, as we keep going, we're going to go down here to Anna Meagle, and she's a award-winning game writer and author of 20 years experience in video games. She joins Project Orion as lead writer on the heels of narrative contributions such as titles as Control, Dishonored, Avatar, Guild Wars, and the upcoming Fable. So she's got a pretty decent pedigree. Okay, so she's going to be writing the overall, text of the game. She's going to be doing like all the interactions you have and maybe even the story. I would suspect that she's probably going to be doing the story as well. And I'm kind of wondering how she's going to take what happened in the original and bring it forward. You know what I'm saying? And what path is she going to choose? Is she going to choose the path of the nomad or whatnot? Or is she going to create a whole new character? That could be an option too, But I do want there to be some like threads to the original game. Like the name V mentioned a couple of times or something like that. And I think another cool thing about Cyberpunk that would be kind of awesome is like depending on what path you took, it would affect your playthrough of the sequel. I think that would be kind of awesome as well. And continuing on here, finally we got Alexander Free will bolster the writing for Project Orion, the New York Times bestselling novelist, narrative designer, and comic book writer. With over 15 years of game writing experience, has previously worked as lead writer for Star Wars The Old Republic, which ain't half bad. And he's worked at DICE, Obsidian, Wizards of the Coast, and 20th Century Fox Games Division, Fox Next. Okay, so he worked at Obsidian, which means he probably worked on Skyrim. He worked at DICE, so he probably worked on Battlefront or Battlefield. It says here, Wizards of the Coast, so we're talking maybe Magic the Gathering or D&D. Sort of thing. So that's probably where he worked at, in terms of his writing experience. But the one that gets me the most is Star Wars The Old Republic. Because The Old Republic was a great game. It wasn't a perfect game, but the writing in it was pretty decent. And it says here, as work on the follow-up to Cyberpunk 2077, codenamed Project Orion, enters early stages of development at CD Projekt Red, North America, the company is currently hiring for various positions across its Boston and Vancouver locations. And it says here for a full listing of job location, blah, 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 blah. So that's what we are at with Project Orion. Now, the fact that it is entering early development probably tells me that we're probably talking 2 years out, okay? 2-3 years out at minimum, okay? But already they've got some people with decent pedigrees. They've got someone who worked at Apex and Diablo 3, someone who worked at Hitman, Ubisoft. You've got people working from the Mortal Kombat, people who worked at, Ubisoft Massive as well, Remedy, ArenaNet, Star Wars The Old Republic, DICE, Obsidian, Wizards of the Coast. So you've got people who worked across the industry coming in here, and I think a lot of their talents are going to go to Project Orion. Now, as of now, what do I want to see in Project Orion? First off, I want to see threads to the original game, okay? I want to see threads to the original game at least. Okay. I want them to take Phantom Liberty into account also. Okay. I really would like a multiplayer. Okay. Now, here's the thing about multiplayer is I want a multiplayer. Okay. But I don't want it to be overly microtransacted. I don't want a ton of microtransactions in the multiplayer. That's something I am kind of worried about because it would be easy to fall down that trap. Okay. To just have multiplayer, but do like Call of Duty has done, or even to a certain extent Fortnite, and just have all these microtransactions involved in it. I really don't want that. Okay. And that's what's kind of concerning me when it comes to Ubisoft, when it comes to Apex Legends and New World and Diablo 3, that these people who worked at these former studios are going to say, hey, we need microtransactions and all this stuff. Okay. Another thing that I'm worried about is they didn't really learn their lesson from the launch of Cyberpunk 2077. The launch of Cyberpunk 2077 was horrible. Now, it has since become a great game, okay? I'll admit that. The launch was horrible, but it has since become a great game, all right? I really hope they learn from their mistakes, and I hope they really do test the heck out of this and don't repeat what happened with the launch of Cyberpunk 2077. Okay? I really hope that. I really hope we have a decent story. I would like some more life paths. Okay? Even like what they could do is this, like have like 3 life paths. The original life paths from Cyberpunk 2077. You would have Nomad, you would have Streetwise, and you would have Corpo. Okay? And then maybe have like a season 1 where it says you get a free life path with season 1 that you can unlock, and it'd be like the soldier life path or the AUSA life path or whatever. Like have different life paths with new seasons. Not every season, but have like a new life path with these seasons that changes up not only the campaign but the multiplayer as well. Okay, do that. I would like to see that, where maybe you have the 3 main life paths when you get the game, and as new seasons come out, you get new life paths that open up new story elements and story challenges and story events and that sort of thing, where you can play the game in this new life path, and it's a completely different game than when you played it in, say, a Nomad path or a Corpo path. Okay. That's something I would like to see as well. And, I'm really interested to see Cyberpunk 2077 sequel. Okay. I've not played Phantom Liberty. I can't play Phantom Liberty because I don't have a PS5 right now. But more likely it will come out on PS5 or whatever console is coming out. Heck, for all we know, by the time it comes out, PS6 could be coming out, But I'm really interested to see Cyberpunk 2077 sequel. Project Orion, whatever they're going to call it. I really want to see those threads to the original game, even if it's just something as simple as some of the original characters coming back, but they're grieving over V. Like they lost V, to whatever happened to him, all that stuff. So I'm very interested to see the Cyberpunk 2077 sequel. I'm interested to learn more information about it. I can't wait to know more about it, and I really can't wait to see a trailer for it, because I think outside of GTA 6, a trailer for Cyberpunk 2077 will be probably one of the biggest trailers of gaming, for the past couple of years. So in our last bit of geek news, I'm going to kind of end it on a bad note, okay? If you grew up in the 90s, there were country music singers that you probably loved. George Strait, Alan Jackson. Among those was Toby Keith. He came out with such songs as, I Want to Be a Cowboy, Red Solo Cup, American Soldier, Courtesy of the Red, White, and Blue. I mean, he came out with some great country songs, okay? And he was a great guy, by all counts. He had been battling stomach cancer, and he was in remission, But then a couple months ago, he did say he had come out of remission and he was going to be battling it again. But on February the 5th, he did die. He's going to be missed. You know, I mean, I don't know how else to say it, but he's going to be missed. So, Toby, wherever you're at, whether you're in heaven or wherever it is you're at, I hope you are finally a cowboy like you always wanted to be. So that was your Geek Report for the week of February the 5th through February the 12th, 2024. Just a kind of recap of everything we talked about. We saw that Gina Carano has finally started suing Disney with the help of Elon Musk. We checked out 2 Super Bowl trailers, which was Deadpool 3, which are now calling Deadpool and Wolverine, and Twisters, the sequel or reboot to the original movie Twister that came out in the 90s. In video game news, we got some Cyberpunk 2077 sequel news, which they're calling Project Orion. And miscellaneous news, we found out and saw that Toby Keith had died this past week. I hope you all are doing safe. I hope you all are doing healthy, doing well. Check out my other video sites at the links in the end of this video. I will see y'all in the next video and in the next stream. Laters.